Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Free the Games. This one's going to be done a little bit differently than we had previously done. The last one we did was a kind of live stream with me and Chris both doing this. This one's going to be just a tiny bit different because, well, I was going to live stream it, but I just didn't kind of have the energy to. And B, Chris is probably at this point sleeping. So we're going to continue on. This will be a kind of shorter one. I just want to work on the game Glide Slope today. So if you can't tell, I've already screwed up twice trying to make this next clip. So to start with, I have made this square, and I have made it so far 150 millimeters by... Well, we'll probably just do 150 millimeters and make it a square by 2 millimeters. And the purpose of this is going to be the backplate for the game Glide Slope. The point of Glide Slope is to get a plane from one side, and to be fair, I'm probably going to make this a full 200 just to give it a good reach, but to get it from this side of the board to this side of the board. Now, in order to visualize and to make the glider go across, we're going to make something with these cylinders. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is make them super round. Not that that necessarily matters, but for my well-being, it does. We're gonna make this 6 by probably 6. That'll work. And we're also going to bring this down to about 10. Sounds good. All right, now for the next part, what we want to do is we're going to duplicate this. We're going to bring this in by 1 on each of these modes, and we're going to bring it up by I'm going to bring it up by 2, and we're going to turn it into a whole, combine this, and group it. That'll give us a 4 millimeter cylinder that we have to work with, and I'll probably drop it down to like 3.5. Now, the thing that I want to do, and I might bring this up just a little bit and do 15, is we're going to rotate this, and we're going to rotate this 15 degrees. Probably not 15 degrees, because all right, somehow the recording stopped. So we're going to bring this 25 degrees this way. And that looks good. And I will fix that bottom part when I get to it. Now what I want to do is bring this over to right about there. That looks good. And I want to try and see if we're going to get 21 out of this, because that's kind of the number I want to go with, but I don't think we're going to get exactly that. So if we hit this duplicate button, it's just going to duplicate it. And if we move it over, let's see, 8 looks like a good thing, and we hit duplicate again, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So what I can do there is we can take this and we can bring this back down to, like, would 150 be enough? No, it's going to be 170. That looks like a pretty good layer for that. I'm really hoping I'm still recording. Okay, I am. That had me worried there for a second. So now what we're going to do is select all of these. They should all be lined up, and we're going to duplicate them, and we're going to bring them down, but just in this row. And if we did the same, I think we're going to have to do 8. Yeah, 8 will work. I think we might go down 9. We'll do 9 and 0. There we go. And we do 1, copy. All right, we're going to have to do this again. There we go. I'm going to duplicate again. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's go for 15. We'll do 15 by 21 layers. That seems pretty good. Now, the one thing I want to do is also, where is this? I'm going to bring this over here. We're going to, hold on. It did pop up there. Let me see what that's all about. All right, yeah, so Malwarebytes just, detected something from Steam, apparently. I'll have to look into that in just a minute. I'm going to finish the recording first. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to take this bottom plate, we're going to duplicate it, we're going to turn it into a hole, and we're going to move it down. Nope. Turn it into a hole. We're going to move it down 2. We want to grab all of these, and these are all going to be merged right now. And it's going to take a second. I've gotten the page has gone unresponsive. That's okay. We're going to wait. Oh, there it goes. So the reason I did that was to get rid of all those little nubs on the bottom there. And once it actually does finish and think it's done, we'll have something. So while it's doing that, I do want to make the base. And to make this stand up, I think we're going to make this 30. We're going to bring it down here at the corner. And we're just going to make it as wide as it is. Now, in theory, I should make it a little bit longer, but it is what it is. It's still thinking about what it's trying to do, so I may have to give it a minute. But this is the board game, more or less. Now, the next thing I have to do is I have to make the airplane that it is going to fly on. We're going to make a very simplistic one with Tinkercad here, just to give it a good representation, and then I'm going to work on something a little bit more detailed, hopefully, maybe in Blender. We'll see after it prints. I may do a second episode of this week. I'm hoping that by at least next week, these files will be available with the rules and everything, and we'll be able to release it. But we're just going to have to work on that. This is one of my projects that I want to do this year. This is what I'm going to do this year. This is my Free the Games. This is going to be games free for everyone. So I'm going to wait till this gets messy and we'll go from there. What's weird is I just merged, I don't know, this thing is royally freaking out. It's saying it is all merged, but I don't believe it. And we're going to send an email to myself real quick. You know what? There's one good way to test this, and it's going to be to export it. So let me do that. Now, I'm going to bring up Prusa Slicer, but the top is going to get trimmed off, and that's just because I could do this better. I'm obviously completely novice at making videos that aren't full-screen games, so I'm going to have to work on that, and that'll be something that comes later on. But for right now, we'll just deal with this. If I do something in the settings, I'll let you know. All right, we finally have it downloaded. We're going to switch back to Prusa, and I just realized I still need to hide my document folder. Not that I'm too worried about it, but there's still some stuff in there. So this is how it's going to look on our print bed. We shouldn't have to use any sort of supports since this angle is not that steep. We're going to see how fast it's going to slice. Yes, 6.5 hours. And survey says generating G-code. 10 hours. Okay. Which means it'll be done at 9. If I start it right now, it'll be done just before 9 o'clock. And it's going to use 170. This is using more filament than the Lego dude I printed. I've got 400 grams of filament still left, so I can print the 2 that I need for this, which is fine. I think it is a much better design. And that $4.31 is not necessarily realistic. So what I'm going to do, and I know this is kind of what you can't see, but I'm going to change the filament setting. Right now it's at $25 a roll, which is not at all accurate because I pay about, I don't think I paid $25 except for like the specialty brands of filament, like the Rainbow Multicolor Fast Print. So $3.42. It's not great, not bad, but we're going to get this going and printing right now. All right, it is very dark and my board looks very dirty, which it is. in fairness, like I said, I just got done printing that Flexi, not Flexi, the Lego skeleton. But this is going to be very, very not quick. It's 10 hours to print this, which is a bit on the absurd side, but I'm going to let it get going here, and then we'll see what it looks like in the morning. But while it's printing and printing out the thing right now, I'm going to leave it and let it do its thing while I finish up and do the last little bit here. We're going to make the plane that is going to be for glide slopes. So we want this to be 3.9 by 3.9. That should be enough to slide inside those gaps. In fact, probably going to do 3.8 and 3.8. Now, for the plane, because this is going to be the area that I don't exactly know how I'm going to do. Oh, that'll work. We're going to line that up right about there. We're going to pull this. You know what? I just realized that the plane is sideways here, so we're going to take this and we're going to go 90. No, I kind of actually want to go the other way, 90. 180. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Now, this is obviously going to be very simplistic because it is. And we can actually do 3.8 right here and make it the same size as this. I'm going to have to kind of swivel this around and work on it. I'm using too many controls here. I want it at the back. Now this is going to be probably printed with supports and all sorts of other stuff, but it'll work. If we flip this on its side and do 90. Okay, no, let's do that again, 180. And we're going to make this pretty small. Like that. Raise it up. I don't want it to be that small. We want 3.8. Does that look like a plane? No, not even a little bit. Mostly because I think that, like I said, this is supposed to be just, you know what? I kind of like just the flying wing shape. It's not, it's very simplistic. It's not very, I kind of want to have an actual glider, but I do not have the skills to do this with Tinkercad. I might be able to pull it off in Blender, but for part one of this is going to work very well. I will post an update on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and all that for how the print goes. And in the second part, which will probably be either Thursday or this weekend, depending on how long it takes me to get this printed out and everything, we'll do the second part where I have everything and we explain the rules and the games. I just realized this does need dice, and I would like to do custom dice for that, so I may have to see if there's a program that easily lets me 3D print custom dice. But with that said, I want to make sure that this is ready and going out on Tuesday. So thank you all for watching. If you have any feedback or suggestions, please let me know. I'm hoping that this game will be available at least in some beta aspect by next week. And until we talk again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.